Hello supply chain friends. So since I made the video on the top 3 universities in Germany for supply chain masters program, I got a lot of requests from you all about making a similar video for Australia. So here I am with a brand new video where we will talk about the top 3 universities if you are considering a master's in supply chain in Australia, what is the cost of these programs and what is the course that they cover. My name is Jamil Hai, and I've been working in supply chain management positions across South Asia, Middle East, and North America for the last 20 plus years. And my mission is to help supply chain professionals like you build real life skills for your job and career that they don't teach you in college. And if you are preparing for a supply chain job interview anytime soon, you should definitely book a session with me because I'm going to take your resume, the job description you're applying for, and based on a combination of those two and my 20 plus years of experience, will give you some laser guided tips and tricks which will maximize your chances of success. So go ahead now and book a session. So as you consider a master's degree in supply chain in Australia, I would strongly recommend you watch my video on whether you should do a bachelor's or master's in supply chain or do certifications matter in supply chain, because these two videos will really give you an idea on when you should go for a master's degree, when you should go for a certification, and if you're younger, when you should go for a bachelor's degree. So these two videos will really help you in making that decision. Now, with that said, the number 3 university I have on my list, if you are considering a master's in supply chain in Australia, is the University of Technology at Sydney. What I really like about this program is that they have got their 10 core subjects, but on top of that, they have an internship experience as well. And that internship experience or the industry research project will be your gateway to get that industry experience or exposure, which is probably more important than those 10 courses. Those 10 courses will help you with your development in supply chain in general, but that internship project is going to be really the game changer. Now, this program is 2 years long. If you are an international student, it's going to cost you approximately 76,000 Australian dollars, $61,000 for domestic students. And you can see their subjects cover a range of the score models. So they talk about the procurement management piece, data analytics, the supply chain technology management, quality management, strategic supply chain management, and risk management. So mostly this course covers the key topics that are important for you to know from your development in the supply chain space. Talking about development, one of the supply chain specific learning platforms I want to share with you is called SCMDOJO. What I like about this platform is that this is not like one of those generic e-learning platforms where you get a lot of different courses from a lot of different industries. This is built for supply chain, as the name suggests. And you can see on the screen here, there are a lot of different supply chain specific courses here, ranging between $29 and $49. But the exciting thing I want to share with you is that if you get their annual subscription, you can have access to all these courses just for $59 a month, where you will get the access to all the courses, official certifications for achieving learning goals, and you also get a weekly premium newsletter from SCMDOJO as well. You also get access to their live trainings, which are run by some fantastic supply chain experts around the world. On number 2, I've got University of Sydney. So this is also another Sydney-based university on the top 3 list. And they offer a program which is the Masters of Logistics and Supply Chain Management. It's a 1.5 year program. It will cost you about $62,000 if you are an international student, and $40,000 if you are a local student. And their curriculum also covers key topics around the SCORE model. So they have got procurement, warehousing, manufacturing, shipping, airlines, export, import, freight, and retail, all covered in their curriculum. And then you can also see what kind of jobs it prepares you for. So this course is a bit more focused on the logistics side. So it covers a lot of different areas around becoming a shipping coordinator, freight manager, logistics manager, export manager, and so on. And some of these topics are very important from an Australian context as well, because if you have seen my podcast on how to find supply chain jobs in Australia that I posted a while ago, you can watch it by clicking over here. What we covered in that podcast was that Australia is a huge country, and depending on which part of Australia you are on, some industries are more dominant than others. So for example, if you are on the western side of Australia, which is Perth and those areas, they are much stronger in mining, whereas if you come on the Sydney, Melbourne side, they are more strong in the traditional supply chain industries like consumer goods and so on and so forth. And because it's a huge country, freight plays a very, very important role. And I also see that in Canada, where I'm currently based, because Canada is also a huge country, the role of freight and rail is very, very important in the supply chain ecosystem of the country itself. And finally, on number 1, I've got RMIT, which is a very famous university based in Melbourne, Australia this time. They offer a Master's of Supply Chain and Logistics Management program. It's a 2-year long program. They offer an online and on-campus option. I think the online option is slightly cheaper. However, I personally recommend that if you are really spending the money to do this Master's program, try to take the on-campus option, because if you are really doing it online, you are losing on the very essence of investing in such a program. Because one of the things which I've covered in the video that I mentioned about bachelor's or master's at the beginning of this video as well, is the main reason why you would do a master's program is also to build that industry connection, build your network, know the right people in the industry and so on. And knowing your cohort in person makes a huge difference, because if you are socializing with them, you are having lunches and dinners with them, it makes a huge difference in building those relationships and those friendships that sometimes can last forever. I know that I'm still in touch with some of my colleagues who were in the master's program I did in Canada a few years ago. So those connections can really help you in finding a job or further growing in your career. So I strongly recommend the on-campus option if you can afford that. The fees of this program is relatively cheaper than some of the other ones I covered so far. So international fees is about $49,000. Domestic fees is about $35,000. In terms of the curriculum of this program, in year 1, they cover the fundamentals of supply chain, like supply chain principles, business analytics, supply chain modeling, business project management. Now, project management is very important. This is one of the reasons why I like this program more than the others, is that it provides you a more holistic coverage of not only the core supply chain topics, but the other skills you need around them. And project management is definitely one of those. It also covers strategic operations and supply chain management, international logistics, supply chain sustainability. And then in year 2, you've got business research design, e-business supply chains, managing supply chain contracts, strategic procurement management. And then there are some electives that you can choose as well. So there is predictive and prescriptive analytics in business, visualizing and communicating insights in business, digital risk management, digital innovation, leadership and management, people and organizations, design thinking for business, and so on, which are all very good electives, by the way. And if you ask me like which 4 I would pick up if I had this choice, then I would definitely pick up the predictive and prescriptive analytics piece, because that is becoming more and more important, especially with AI. I would definitely pick up leadership and management, because leadership is a very, very important aspect of any senior supply chain job. And then I would also pick up people and organizations. Once again, the people management side, as you grow further in your career, becomes very important. And then I think I would probably pick up the digital risk management piece and information security, because that's another very important aspect, especially as you bring in more innovation and you bring in new technologies. De-risking the business is an absolutely important aspect, and that also dovetails a bit into the change management aspect of innovation as you bring it in supply chain. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've also made videos on topics like how to build your supply chain career in the Middle East and how to prepare for a supply chain internship job interview, which you can watch by clicking over here. Keep watching.